So let's look at, I think we can narrow down the chokes from the side to 3 basic chokes. Okay, we've got the cross collar, which is this, here, like this. All right, so your arm is like a cross. Right? So the way people would do this, they would slip in here like this and go like that. But doing it from this knees on the side position is really fiddly. I mean, you try to do that. So the best position is to work knee on belly here. See, I've already got a grip here, a working here, and then we loop that over, and we've got a cross collar choke. We lift it up and we squeeze. Okay, so that's 1. All right, so your arms are like this, just like from closed guard. Do this, right? Next one we're going to practice is this one, where instead of going underneath the arm, we're just going here. So now our hands are like this. We call this the baseball bat choke. It's also known as the samurai grip or the suicide choke. I don't know why it's called suicide choke. Like this, we're slipping our knee through, and it's almost like we're turning upside down to get that submission. I want that arm through. So again, a recap, without Chris there. The first one is causing that one, and we're squeezing. The second one is here, and our arms like this, and then bringing that through. The third one, and final one, is called the bread cutter choke. This doesn't necessarily work as well from knee on belly. We're going to like down here. We're going to put our arm underneath his arm, and here, and gripping here. Okay? And sorry, I made a mistake. It should be here. Okay? So now our arm is like this. Here, we're bringing back down, and it's like a knife cutting bread, like this. And you bring that down, and we're going to spin our body around. Sorry, buddy.
Why do you have to be under their arm?
We need a counterpoint to grip. If I just did this on its own, Chris will move with me, and this one locks into place, like that. Locks it into place. Yeah. Good question, by the way. Nearly all strangulations, chokes require 2 parts. One is a stable hand, one is a moving hand. So if you look at the first one we did, which is the cross collar choke, I'm using this one as my stability hand, this one as my moving hand. The second one we did is the baseball bat grip. This one is my stable hand, this one is the moving hand, and then the bread cutter, this is the stable hand, this one is the moving hand, and it goes like that. So you're going to practice all 3. All right, and we're going to start from this very relaxed side position. Remember, the first 2, I do have to pop up knee on belly. You can take the weight off a little bit. I'm not actually on the way here. A nice starting point is to always make a connection with the head side arm. Okay, lift it up, grab here, loop it over, then we're in that X shape. Okay, and then to finish up is a matter of bringing his head towards you and squeezing like this. The second version is the same starting point. Yeah. It's nice to lift his head up, which brings him closer to you, which makes this bit easier. Palm up, grab here, and my elbow chops down. You're going to slide your knee down here, so now I'm shoulder on his chest, and the squeeze is, I'm being very gentle, like that, like that. The final one, which is a little more fiddly, admittedly, I'm going to grab under here, loop over his head. Remember the stability arm, the moving arm, this goes down, and to make this work, I drop my hip down and turn the other way, like that. 3 strangulations from side. I only want to show you as the foundation, because then we're going to work the same 3 chokes using his gi and my gi, which are way more effective. Okay? Right, 1, 2, 3. Now, as you can see from the warm-up drill, and just from drilling this alone, it's very fiddly, trying to get your fingers in, trying to loop it around, doing all that. Wouldn't it be nice if we had, I know, like a rope where we could just wrap around their neck? Okay, well we do. This is effectively a rope. It's one long rope that goes all around his neck, so it's already done half the work for you. It's around his neck. All right, we also have a rope here. How do we access the rope? So imagine it's all tucked in. Okay. Number 1, we need to get pretty good side control. So at the very least, I'm not really worried about this hand. I want to be underneath this arm. So we have to, part of the drill I want you to do is figure out a way to get underneath the arm. And the simple way is to get your hip and move it under here. See, I move my hip. We're going to work our way through, and then we're higher up the food chain, higher up the chest dominance. Then what I was saying, chest to chest pressure. Right, we're going to work under here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him look away. The best way to make him look away is obviously drive your shoulder into him, but I also drop my hip and turn away. And while I do that, I extract his gi. Okay? All the way. Now, what we do with this gi, we feed it underneath his arm, and we grab here. Can you see everything we've done so far? Let's finish it off now. All right, a very simple submission. It's just the clock trick. Go around. And we're here, creating very unpleasant strangulation. He's being brave, but... You okay? Yeah. This is like super old school. It's like when if you look at any textbook or anything from like the very first textbooks from the 90s, this is one of the things they show, and it still works. And I like the way it works because it just basically gets rid of the problem of the fiddliness of all this, right? But the most thing, to set it up, we do need to get rid of this near side frame, and the simple one is to use your hips. Okay, feed your arm through, so we're really high up, gets rid of the arm. We're going to create a distraction here, leaning in, pull it out the gi. It goes underneath the armpit, feed it to the other side, and then we're going to hand. The version I just did, I walked. You can do a version where you just hop over and creating a counter choke. You see that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the movement when
you see that, yeah?
Yeah.
Me?
Sam.
Oh, sorry.
I show this as the first one because it's a nice, easy entry into using the lapel as an attacking weapon. It's not necessarily the highest percentage one, but it's a nice one to start. It doesn't cost you anything once you've got that lapel. Okay. So we're fighting for inside arm control, and we're in this top position. I don't want to be so obvious that I'm going to drag this gi up, so I'm going to turn and put all my body weight into that shoulder line, which also gives me space here to move this. We're going to feed this under his armpit and feed it to the other side. All right? And from this other side, I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to just pop to the side here. To create pressure on one side. To create the strangulation, I have to lift this arm up. Strangulation. Okay?
Yeah, good.
It's unpleasant, especially the hopping over bit, so do it nice and carefully. Alright, give it a go, guys. 1, 2, 3. It's really weird, but I have a bias towards passing this side, which handily it makes it easier to open the gi. If we pass the other side, it means I have to open this gi, and because one foot flaps over the other, it's a bit more fiddly, okay? Which means you telegraph the intentions a bit more, which means less successful. That's just me. But it's just one of those weird things that you note. Okay, how you do it is up to you. So we're in this position, we've got rid of the arm, we've got here, alright? So now we're still doing the little shoulder justice, bring this out, and we're bringing this under here. By the way, there might be a little bit of grip fighting, so he might realize he doesn't want this, so you might have to pretend to go over, he puts his arm to defend his neck, and you go under. I want it under his arm, and we grip here. This line of grip isn't so tight. Familiar territory, we're now going to knee on belly, and I pull. Okay, and there's two options from here. Number one, going to do the baseball back grip, baseball back grip. Here, yeah. Same technique, I slide my knee across, draw my elbow down, and we get that strangulation. Second version, same starting point, is rather than go here, I go here. And then we've got this grip here. And it's a matter of getting whatever you can. Usually this grip here, or as close to the neckline, and we're doing the cross collar choke. No change in my knee on belly. There. Those are your two options. Let's start again. They're heavy. I did this on an unnamed rookie once, and he said, "Can you not post a video, please, because you can see my bald patch." He's not here, by the way. I chose a well-suited person for this one. Okay, we want to get rid of this arm first of all. It's in here. We want to create a shoulder adjusted, so it doesn't realize I'm grabbing this. It might be a bit grip fight, something we go over. We grab here, I'm going to pop the knee on belly. Notice that it's quite an aggressive knee on belly. It's quite high up on his chest, not down here. Because if it's down here, I have to reach quite far with my arms. It's quite aggressive, yeah. Option number 1. This is the rope I'm talking about. We're going to meet our elbows to elbow, drive my knee across, and we're going to get tap here. Second version. Pull towards you, not here, here. Grab, pull, or pull it towards you, and strangulate. Okay? You can do those, guys. It's the same 2 techniques we've done before. It just so happens from using his gi as opposed to trying to find some sort of fiddly grip there. All right, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Sweet. Quick recap, head to break, past, we're going across here, great the shoulder adjusted so he doesn't see what's going on, pull, go underneath, we're here, pop into knee on belly, the first technique, cross collar choke, here. Second one I didn't show, but showed some of you, is that usually when you do this, they frame, okay, they defend. We're going to bring the elbow over, put our chest on it, and lift our hand up. Okay, so that's a nice extra one at no cost to you. All right. So, second one that we did, we're here, we reach around, we pop up. This time I'm not swapping hands, I'm just going straight here. I'm going to bring the elbow down, drive the knee across, and we go for the baseball bat control. All right, it's just a quick recap with an extra bonus. Now, somebody asked a very good question concerning this bit. So he's grip fighting me. I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to go over. I'm not quite getting there. You can go straight over. Okay, when you go over, as tight a grip as you can, and pull. Hopefully he can't get his arm out. Try and get your arm out. Okay, you might want to assist with this. If you don't, he might be able to wriggle his arm out. Okay, and we just proceed with the same stages before. Here, change, like this, grip, here. I wonder if this works. Maybe, it doesn't work, it's fine. So that's a nice one to have. Alternatively, he gets his arm out free, and then we do the Ezekiel. All right, I'll show you that. That's quite a nice one. So, same thing again. We brought this out. We're trying to go underneath, but he's wise to it. So we go over. Nice. And the tension is across his wrist line. Okay? Pop up, change grip, and then grab anything for the finish. Go back to the original grip, and then we're just hanging there. Okay? Maybe I slack it off a little bit, and he gets his arm free, which allows this to happen. See this hand here? This is called the Ezekiel. This is a nice one. Nick showed me this one. It's quite a mean and nasty one. Anybody want to see those 2 again? No? I always say that, and then when I watch you, you're not doing it properly. Alright, I trust you. I'll come in and help you anyway. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Everything we've been doing so far is with his lapel. It makes sense. The reason we do it with his lapel is because it's the most direct connection. It literally is a rope around his neck. And another thing is that we can just hold him here. So if I try to cup his head from here, from this knee on belly, Chris, try and get your head to the ground. I'm trying to fight. See how he arched his neck and he just got his head to the ground? I have to hold a giant bowling ball, right? The human head weighs 8 pounds, I don't know, right? But with this one, he's hanging himself. So get your head to the ground. I'm not using any strength. He's fighting his own gi, his own shoulder line. And Chris is way stronger than me, but he can't get his head to the ground. Whereas if I hold him here, it's reliant on the strength of my arm. So that's why we make the direct connection with the gi line. However, you can't always get the gi. For example, it could be really tucked in really tightly into his belt line, and you're going to spend ages doing this, and yeah, he could be covering it. And then I can't do the fully one. So what we're going to do is Make him think his hand is down here for a reason. Make him think you're pulling this one out, but at the same time, you're pulling your own one out. Okay, remember I'm pinning him down with this position. I'm not just doing this for show. Pull it here, okay? Now, what we're going to do is he can't quite see. Bring it here, over his arm. Remember his arm was down because he was trying to protect the lapel pull out. All right, if his arm is up here, this is a little harder to do because you're effectively going over a frame which we can use against you. If his arm is there, you have to find a way underneath his arm. These are the rules. However, this little trick usually works, especially if you've done this before on him during a roll. Pull this out, he realizes, aha, I know your trick, not getting this one out. Stopping that. Right at the end, disguise it, not the belt, push it through here. Okay, you're on belly. Change the grip. Alright, then we can do strangulation, or the first one, which is that one, but I would bring this one in for more, or we can go to yeah, and pull there. Right. So, all the things we've done, you can use your own glue pearl. You want to try that, guys? 1, 2, 3.